Now, aside from the tax holiday you've talked about,
tax credit.
or rather tax credit
Yes.
that you talked about, and of course the direct funding by the government, which other ways do you think financing infrastructure can actually work?
The old, strong PPP, public-private partnership. There are two types of public-private partnership transactions, if structured well. Now, you have an institution called the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission. They just got a guy now, Chidi, who is now the DG, who I think should be able to reflect the environment so that they can play their path in this type of infrastructure financing. The first part is where you get the user to pay for the use of the of the asset. By the way, what PPP does is to improve the efficiency of the asset. So you build a road and you toll it. Okay, you build a railway and they pay you through the ticket. Now the second one is because government makes some money, say from consolidated revenue. Government can say, you know what? Build this over the next 20 years. We'll be paying you a statutory amount on a regular basis. Either of these ways, government the people will have access to new or improved assets for use. Now, this has worked in various environments, both mature and emerging markets, and we believe it is a way to go. Use rail for an example. The railway, you're not tolling. All you do is you collect your tickets. You pay back the railway costs of building both the feedstock and the infrastructure through the tickets. So government must get the Chinese. They have tons of money. They have the skill. Put them on the roads. Put them on the rails. And structure it well. That's what you need to do. Get to ICRC. They know what to do. They're developing the capacities now. And I've told them, go around, do the training for the MDAs. Move some of these assets into PPP. It will release money into the hands of government, just as I said, so that when you see a policeman, you will respect him on the road because he's properly equipped. When you see the kind of cars that are driving, because government will have invested in such. Those are the things that harness. And all this stuff for ethnicity and religion, the roads don't talk about whether you're a Muslim or a Christian. When you have power in your house, you don't ask, is it a Muslim that put the power on or a Christian that put the power on? Let's concentrate on things that would bind us together as a people so that we can unleash the potentials of this nation. And we can take our place in the Committee of Nations. Instead of all these conversations of, look at education. Education has gone to the grounds. You need to put the Minister of Education on the spot. What have you done, sir?
That's also infrastructure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what about the role of some of these multinational institutions like and financing institutions like World Bank,
the development institutions?
Development institutions.
Let me tell you one of the greatest risks that these guys face is called political risk. Political risk is that we don't trust you as a government, and that is one of the worst places to be. But there are insurance companies, there are institutions that can mitigate your political risk. So it is not even a challenge as we speak. The critical thing is the vision. The visionary leadership that says, you know what, in another 10, 20, 30 years, this is the picture of Nigeria that I want. This is the picture of railway. This is the picture of airports. This is the picture of the roads I want. I want to do, out of the 600 roads, I want to do 20 roads, and then do another 20, and do another 20, and then it can be measured. Okay, that's the critical thing. Then all the risks, which is why we keep telling government must find a way to say, do what they say. Government must, even if they are dropping, they're packing up, they must say, look, we've signed, we must do it. You know what? The next person that is coming will look at that and say, how did they fare in the last transaction? So government must begin to educate the people at the positions of authority that they hold collective trusts, both locally and internationally. So these development institutions are there, they're waiting in the wings, they're just watching, they're just trying to understand you. One of the greatest challenge of private capital is, can I trust you? Can I trust you with not even, can I get my money back? Not talk about the interest.
They just have to find a way to build trust.
Build trust, yeah. They need to find a way to trust you. You are the one that will build the trust. By the things you are doing, they are just watching, they are waiting in the wings. They're looking for where to invest their money. But they're not going to put the money because of the interest they're going to get. First of all, they're assured of the return of the original capital. So somebody tomorrow does not come and say, I make all companies here to become Nigerian. You cannot Nigerianize your businesses and then expect them to come tomorrow.
All right, Mr. Pascal, but before I let you go, with the release of this funds now, of course, contractors will be paid and there will be some kind of money in the system. Are you worried that this might actually cause some kind of inflation?
Which inflation? It will reflate the system. It will not inflate. No, it will reflate. Your economy is contracted. I hope you understand. People are beginning to feel it now. Businesses that used to pay loans are no longer able to pay, not because they don't want to pay, but because they are no longer getting income. So contractors are going to be paid, they're going to be mobilized, people are going to be hired. When you say recession, when you mean recession, it means you're below the table. So you just come out from under the table. So you can't be talking about the inflation now. You just say, okay, can we start all over again? So it is good, and I'm hoping the system will really be reflated as this finances get in. People are going to be hired. The contractors are going to go back. People are going to, it goes down the value chain. So I'm hoping that more of this will happen. If the investments also in railway happens, that's how the system. It's not by hiring people and putting them in the civil service. Government doesn't. It's not their job to employ people. It is their job to create
that value chain.
Yes, so that the PPP people can come in, so that the investors can come in and then hire your people. Then you tell them, if you hired 200 Nigerians, instead of paying 30,000 tax, you pay 20,000 tax. That's what you talk about incentive. This is a rocket science.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Pascal. Mr. Pascal Odibo is the Country Director at Jeff & O'Brien. We'll take another short break, and when we come back, we'll do the pre-open market analysis with Rotimi Pakeja. To stay with us.